All right, Forex market update for today. Let's get straight into it, shall we? We'll start with gold. Just as I said yesterday, this is going to get taken out, and it has beautifully. Still bearish. We've obviously ran through all this demand, so price is showing clear signs of weakness. The only range I'm honestly going to look at is this one here. I don't mind how price is like boomed up, leaving quite a bit of an imbalance underneath, and we do have supply here. We'll see if this gets mitigated. Just, yeah, obviously keep in mind the context is still bearish, so expect pullbacks. Now, looking at this supply on the lower time frame, it's not as valid. Yeah, it's honestly, it's not really clean supply at all. It's all been mitigated, as you can see. So given this, I'm no longer really interested in it. I'm a lot more interested in a potential third tap POI from this explosive move up. So let's have a look. We do have demand, which I'm not a fan of the location that the demand is in. It's a bit too far into the range for me to use this as a third tab POI. Like if price does decide to come back in, that's the wrong. So if price does decide to come back in, for us to get a confirmation here, that is way too deep in our range. I'd much rather want a confirmation around this first tap. So just tread carefully with this demand. Let's see if there is anything more refined underneath it. Yeah, so the only thing I would use here is pretty much this POI here has extreme liquidity. That is kind of it. There's nothing really else that I would use. If you really want, technically speaking, you should be using this, which I will use as a matter of fact. It is very close to our tap one, so to our tap two. So if we do sweep this extreme liquidity, bear in mind this will most likely be a model one, if anything. But yeah, these are the POIs that we are given, so this is what we have to work with. As much as we'd like some demand here, there isn't. There's demand quite deep in the range, but we're not going to use that. So regardless, the context is bearish, as I have said, so just expect us to probably disrespect the demand and probably disrespect the liquidity as well, and just kind of maybe temporarily pull back and then just continue going lower. I can see us doing something like that. We will see. Yeah, that's it for gold. Not a whole lot I'm going to be doing at the moment. Everything else remains the same. Contextually speaking, we are the exact same. We're still bearish. Let's have a look at silver. Still bearish on silver. We've mitigated demand. Grab this liquidity. In terms of silver, I kind of have to look at this range now. This is my new range in silver. It's not beautiful, but it's a range. There's also demand below. Just keep that in mind. We'll check on GBP/NZ in a minute. Okay. Yeah, that's kind of it. Contextually, we're still bearish, so let's see if there's any supply over there. yeah, let's just see what happens. Give this range a bit more time to develop. It is kind of in an awkward spot because it's smack bang in the middle between supply and demand. So yeah, give it a bit more time. Let's see what happens. Our alerts are set. Oil. Yep, still very much so bearish. That's fine. Oil. I am no longer interested in this range. We're still very much so bearish. If anything, we kind of had a distribution here. I have a feeling this would have been confirmed. It sort of front ran supply, which is a little annoying, but... And it hasn't really grabbed anything, to be honest. You can use this as your extreme liquidity if you want, yeah. Let's grab that. That's fair enough. That's fine. That is valid extreme liquidity. You can't even see that. Yeah, we'll give this more time, see what happens. I would much rather this come back up and mitigate some of this supply. And then this could be a new range. That would be ideal, but we'll see. Yeah, not a whole lot I'm interested in doing at the moment for oil. Just give this time and yeah, see what happens. All right, that's it for commodities. Let's quickly jump to GBP and ZD. Okay, some interesting price movement here. We've mitigated supply beautifully. This range never ended up being a thing. On the hourly, we're actually bullish now, so we're now aligning with the 4-hour time frame. So it's definitely valid to look for pullbacks and accumulations, but we're just not getting anything at the moment. So I would not be rushing here. Give this a bit more time, maybe wait to see if we accumulate at the demand here, but otherwise just be patient. Not a whole lot to do for GBP and ZD. JBP, JPY, the infamous trade we're in, it's moved up quite a bit. Sentiment has changed, I do feel like. Yeah, so we are bullish. Very much so bullish on the hourly now. We might get stopped out here, but as I've said, I have already de-risked for this, so I'm willing to get stopped out. That is the risk I took of only taking 30% profit, and I'm very much happy with the 30% profit around like a 10 RR it was. On the 4-hour, still bearish, so given the 4-hour is still bearish, price is allowed to come up as high as here. SFP this and then move back down. So we'll see what happens. I'm liking how we are wicking here. You know, obviously it's in my best interest for price to weaken and for us to start dumping. Maybe in New York we start dumping, but we'll see. We'll see if we can grab this Asia high. We'll see if we can grab this Asia high and start dumping. Maybe even a local model. We will see what happens. We've even got Asia low below us. If this presents itself, I am willing to take a little short here, given we get a nice break of structure as always. So we'll see what happens with GBP JPY. Well, USD JPY has invalidated this, that's for sure. Nice little compression, but we've continued going higher. And we have deviated this high time frame range here. So we've officially created our first tap. We are very much so still bullish across all time frames. Remove all this. That can go. That can go. That can go. That can go. Now I will monitor a local distribution here. I don't like the wicks. Not a fan of the wicks here, but let's see what happens. Asia lows here. And then Asia high is range high. So ideally I would like a... Oh no, actually Asia high has been taken out. Asia high has been taken out. Asia lows remain untapped. But in terms of POIs, you do have... yeah, sort of. You've got extreme supply up here, which is an alright POI to use. And then you've got extreme liquidity here. So if anything, you could use these. Once again, this is only subject to us getting a confirmation. It is counter context, so just be aware there. And we'll set our alerts here just in case if this becomes completely invalid, which there is also a possibility of that as well. But yeah, overall, like the volume looks pretty terrible at the moment. So we will wait and see. All right. USD CAD. Yeah, and then I believe the sentiment was the same. Yeah, bullish, that's fine. USD CAD. Beautiful accumulation here, which we missed. We just missed the entry on, but this was planned to perfection. Yeah, beautiful, absolutely beautiful. We've even broken structure to bullish on the hourly. We're obviously still bullish on the 4 hour. Yeah, overall, you're in a pro bullish environment, so you're disrespecting supply. I'm actually going to move this up here. Yeah, and not a whole lot at the moment that I'm sort of willing to chart up. If anything, I would have an alert here, just at this demand. Asia high from the other day, I'm not interested in it. Yeah, only alert I'm putting on USD CAD is on this demand, and that is it. And you've even got a semi demand chain building up here quite nicely. Yeah, there is quite heavy demand building up, eh? Yeah, it's pretty much been mitigated, but we'll see what happens if our price does hit this second level of demand. GBP USD. Well, this sort of completed itself. A very dodgy looking model 2. Everything else remains bullish. 4 hour, still bearish. So yeah, we will see what happens here. Yeah, just be patient here. Expect the price is gonna hit this range high, as that's what price normally does. Chases range lows and range highs. So we'll have our alert there. Awesome. All right, USD CHF. We're now officially back to bullish on the hourly, and on the 2 hour, we're bearish. Okay, so we're bearish still on the 2 hour, but we're just bullish on the 1 hour. So be mindful there, and we so far are leaving supply. Yeah, I kind of just want to leave this as is for now. Let this play out. NZD CAD, still bullish. Not a whole lot that I'm Okay, we're also bullish on the 4 hour now. That is that's a break right there. We have we're in the process of breaking it on the 4 hour, but you kind of have to, you're kind of gonna have to wait till 7 o'clock for. Well, I won't change that to bullish just yet because it's not fully confirmed. We're gonna have to wait till 7 o'clock when this candle closes. As of now, we are breaking structure on the 4 hour, but we got to wait to see when this candle closes. I don't know, we're still technically bearish across most time frames, but yeah, we'll see. At the moment, price isn't looking to slow down, so that's always a something to take note of. And we have some supply there. All right. That is it for NZD CAD. AUD CHF. Yep, still bearish, that's fine. Beautiful sweep of this liquidity we spoke about yesterday. Mitigated demand and even accumulated here. Really, really nice to see. It was low time frame, but yeah, accumulation's valid. Is there overlapping supply in that little like, it's not the cleanest, it's not really the cleanest, but you can kind of allow this as overlapping supply. You know, we're shaping up so bearishly at the moment. It's actually not overlapping supply, to be honest. Or we might have some overlapping at the range low. Regardless, I feel like this is going to get swept out at some point. And there is a mitigation right there. Perfect. Right. So the best, what I would recommend in this situation, we have obviously mitigated the demand below, but we're quite bearish across the board for AUD CHF, as you can see. We're also approaching an area of heavy overlapping supply, so look for distributions. We're not getting anything at the moment, so just be patient. That's all I can say with AUD CHF. GBP NZD, we have already talked about that. AUD CAD, we've got this sort of extended tap, but I feel like it's kind of invalid now. Tap 1 to 2 days, 23 hours, and then tap 2 to tap 3. 23 hours, okay, it's not the worst. But I can see us leaving a local trail of sell side liquidity below. We've also disrespected demand a numerous amount of times now. We've also SFP'd in the moment. Yeah, I feel like this range is going to fail. And it's also, look at the context, we're quite bearish. Contextually, we're bullish. Technically speaking, so we've obviously broken structure here to bullish. We're yet to break structure back to bearish. So outside of the, yeah, we're bullish on the hourly, sorry, but we're bearish across everything else. So just keep that in mind. But at the moment for this range, I'm not really looking at doing anything in particular. I want to give it a bit more time. Okay, AUD USD. So far, I don't mind this, to be honest. Yes, we are bearish. This is just a range deviation at the moment. So let's see what happens when price comes back in. This supply has been mitigated. I'm not really seeing any refined supply, if you will. Yeah, so far this is nothing but a range deviation. Is this supply, however? This is valid supply. It's low time frame, but it is valid structural supply. So we'll see if we can get a mitigation. And in terms of POIs here, annoyingly enough, this is one of those instances where that tap leaves behind quite a bit of sell side liquidity. So you're kind of going to want a sweep, essentially. For this to become a tradable model, you're kind of going to want a model 1 here, because there's just so much liquidity below. Like, this is all liquidity. So yeah, you're going to kind of need a model 1 to occur here for us to long. And it's a counter context long as well, don't forget. So yeah, you're kind of going to want mitigation here. We come back in, sweep, break, boom. If we are to get it, but yeah, like looking here, we're pretty much bearish across all time frames except for the weekly. So yeah, we'll see what happens for AUD USD, GBP AUD. We are very much so bullish. We're just bearish on the weekly. And this has kind of been mitigated. Obviously, we're going to validate this on the lower time frame. As a matter of fact, we can use this to showcase where the true inefficiency lies. Very much so valid. But in terms of structure here, I am not too much of a fan. Like locally speaking, can sort of use this as extreme liquidity. It's not pretty, but it is extreme liquidity. The only thing I'm sort of using is for this POI is to see if we get a local range build up near. Otherwise, yeah, it's just not clean price action. Let's be real here. And we'll put an alert here, which lets us know that this range is invalid. But yeah, overall bullish, so expect higher. Maybe we can get a bounce from demand here. That would be nice. Euro NZD. We're still bullish for now. This closure is going to be very, very important. And this closure is probably valid on the 4 hour as well, is it? Yep, valid on the 4 hour. So if we close below here on the 4 hour, same thing at 7 o'clock, then all of a sudden the sentiment has changed to bearish. So this closure at the moment is very important. I'll definitely be checking back around 7 o'clock or just after. There might even be a OBIF here, which could indicate a potential change in sentiment. Is this valid overlapping supply? Let's have a look. Obviously it overlaps, but it might not be valid. It might all be mitigated. So you can have this mitigated. Mitigated. The only thing I'll sort of be paying a bit attention to is this. We might get a retest here, maybe. We'll see. Other than that, expect us to, yeah. At the end of the day, this close is very important. That's all I can say. Monitor the 4 hour close. That is my takeaway here. Euro GBP. We are bearish on the 4 hour. We're still bearish on the, we're bearish on the 4 hour, bearish on the 1 hour. Kind of bearish across the board here, so that is something to be aware of. Expect lower. We'll see if we can deviate this high time frame range. But at the moment, expect lower. I'll set an alert below here just to let me know. And we do have some supply. Same thing mitigated on the lower time frame, but we can put a waypoint to showcase where the true inefficiency lies. Awesome. Euro USD. Not a whole lot I want to do here. We're kind of just in this awkward ranging environment, so just be patient. I'll double check to see if we are still bullish. We might not be. Okay, no, we're still very much bullish. That's fine. Leave this as is. Yeah, this remains the same. So yeah, that is it for Forex. So yeah, just keep an eye out on the next few hours are going to be quite interesting. USD JPY, if anything, you can keep an eye out on. GBP JPY potentially. That is kind of it in terms of our Forex pairs. And then in terms of commodities, yeah, keep an eye out for gold to see what it does in the next few hours. Silver as well. And oil, not too interested in it. I'm just going to quickly check some crypto pairs before I log off. What's USD CHF doing? Just mitigated supply. So yeah, there is a few moves in crypto if you have watched my crypto update. A few things to keep a close eye on. Virtuals kind of moving away from that POI. Sui's potentially going to create that second tap / first deviation. And yeah, the rest of crypto is just similar to Forex, just a waiting game at the moment. Patience gets rewarded in these markets, guys. Can't emphasize this enough. Patience gets rewarded, so be patient. That will be an interesting POI for WIF. Very, very interesting. We can move this up. And yeah, that is it for today, guys. Thank you all for watching. If you made it this far, subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, The Last Samurai, and I will see you all soon. Peace.